So I got my last what if. This is about the Super Bowl 33 in 1999. So this is the infamous Eugene Robinson incident where he
Of
gets
course.
arrested for soliciting a prostitute before the game.
I'm an
The
I'm an
irony
eight,
of which
9-year-old
is,
kid at this time, so
yeah,
I mean that was my first time watching a football game in its entirety. So like that entire season was a blur.
hmm
So I didn't understand the magnitude of the NFC Championship game or anything like that. I didn't understand the divisional playoff, all that. I didn't understand none of it. I just knew you watch the Super Bowl because it's the most watched sporting event outside of the Olympics for American fans. And that's the one time that eating bad food is warranted. And it ain't Thanksgiving. So
yeah. So he gets arrested. Obviously, it's going to throw things off. It's going to distract the team. He was a Pro Bowler that year, so he was a special player. They talk about he gave up, I think it was an 80-yard touchdown to Rod Smith
he
at
did.
some point.
And the crazy part was that was I don't know what we saw in him because he actually was on the Packers in 32,
hmm
and he I believe it was at Steve Atwater and it was somebody somehow he was like, yeah, they're not even good. These are the Colts. You supposed to bust them in the mouth. Bust them in the mouth. If you look at that NFL footage that they show of that Super Bowl, that's what he says. And the fact that he was who John Elway went at. This is what I meant by if Dion was on our team that year in
hmm
98. As a matter of fact, I'll give you another name that a lot of people may not even know was eligible on that team but had actually retired the season prior and had gone into professional wrestling.
Who was that?
Bill Goldberg,
Oh, okay.
had he been on that team with Patrick Kearney, with a rookie Keith Brooking, with Jesse Tuggle, if Dion was on that team and was still in Atlanta and he was still in his peak powers, yeah, Super Bowl 33 would have been a whole lot different.
I mean, at that year, the Falcons they had the fourth ranked offense, they had the fourth ranked defense. So this was a powerhouse team. And you talked about John Elway targeting Eugene Robinson. They probably know this dude he didn't get any sleep last night because he was in a holding cell until the morning. So they're like, all right, we're going to go after that dude. So I think it obviously could have gone a different way had he had not gotten caught up with all that.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Everybody and their mama's like, yeah. So, yes, the infamous fake prostitute for Super Bowl 33, 28-3, and the missing playbook for Super Bowl 51. What if Grits Blitz, if they beat the Cowboys? Yeah. You talk
Do you have
about three.
any honorable mentions? Any quick ones?
Um,
Maybe some draft ones that like you can't shake.
if we had drafted TJ Watt, yes, that's a given.
Yeah, that's 10
Um,
years of a foundational defensive
fact
piece.
with Grady Jarrett, yeah, fact. If we draft wise, let's see. Julio, we hit on. Matt Ryan, we hit on.
In a major way.
Um, I'm trying to think because the draft is always a hit, miss, and a trial and error type of thing.
To me, it's like I don't get into the what ifs of like, oh, what if the Falcons drafted Tom Brady? Or what if I like to do like cross positional, right? Like so if you draft a quarterback and people say, oh, you should have drafted this edge rusher instead. It's like, okay, well, the team wanted the quarterback, they just maybe picked the wrong one, for
right,
example.
right.
So that's what I try to focus on when it comes to these what ifs. Otherwise, they're just here talking, I don't know, nonsense. Like there's 280 guys or whatever drafted every year. It's like you could point to any of them and be like, oh, we should have drafted this guy instead.
I'm thinking like, is for that particular question, what if draft pick wise, it's hard to say because there is one we could do for a draft for this one.
Please.
2001. A lot of people probably would have for not have forgot had we not swapped picks with San Diego.
Yep, I saw this one a lot in the subreddit too. Yeah, go on, go on. This is a good one.
Michael Vick would have been in California.
Far from his family in Virginia.
Exactly. Would have been in Cali.
We don't do dogfighting in Cali.
Exactly. You don't do dogfighting. We would have had LaDainian Tomlinson. We would have had LT, the second best running back of the 2000s. Man,
And Drew Brees, maybe. That's the other one.
yeah, maybe. Drew Brees, maybe. But yeah, we swapped picks. Drew Brees got a Super Bowl. LT, Hall of Famer. Vic, soon to be NFL Hall of Famer, but he right now, if I'm not mistaken, is a college football Hall of Fame nominee.
You think he's getting in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
I'm not sure about the Pro Football Hall of Fame just yet, but I would definitely guarantee at least the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he might. I don't know if he's already in there. He might not be. Maybe just because he's controversial. But
Well, I mean, he was not. He was something you hadn't seen in college football in a long time. For the 2000s, I mean, you talk about that era where they were winning, Florida State was winning, the ACC or the Big East was the conference to go to. The SEC was not thought of. The Big 12 was thought of. The Pac 12 was thought of. But, but that's a good what if had we just stuck with our draft picks and gone with the best players, what will we have looked like in the areas that we needed to be good in long term? But we'll never know.
that's. I mean, that's the fun part about it, right? Is it's fun to speculate. Uh,